everyone, welcome back to my channel. So as you can tell, we're talking about hospital bags and postpartum in today's video. I really wanted to make this video. I actually had planned to do a what's in my hospital bag before I gave birth, and I'm really glad I didn't have time to do that because a lot of the stuff that I brought I never ended up using. And then there was one thing in specific I can remember wishing I had brought, so I actually feel like this will be a little bit more helpful for you, just knowing what my experience was. But of course there's gonna be stuff that you bring anyways, because I watched these videos and I was like, no, I'm gonna use that, and then I never did. So take it how you will, and you know, hopefully it's a little bit helpful for you. And then of course I wanted to talk about my postpartum experience, some things that helped me recover postpartum, and just my experience with it overall, because it definitely was a shock for me. So let's go ahead and start with the hospital bag portion of this video. I feel like this is such an old school style YouTube video, like what's in my bag. Do we remember those? Because I don't know, it's bringing me back. This is my lovely hospital bag. It is by the brand Fawn Design. They actually make diaper bags. I think that's what they're known for. But I just got their like weekender bag, I think, or maybe, I don't know. But it is now going to be a weekender bag, but it was my hospital bag. Perfect size, fit everything and then some that I needed, so I thought it was great. So I brought, just to give you kind of an idea of what we ended up bringing to the hospital, I brought this bag for myself, I brought a diaper bag for Theo, and then his car seat, and then Patrick brought his own bag. So we wanted to keep it very light. I really didn't want to bring like big suitcases just because we had to take an Uber. We're in New York, so we had to take an Uber, and I just felt like it was going to be kind of a hassle. We're really glad with what we ended up bringing, and it was like the perfect amount as far as bags go. I definitely overpacked in this bag, so I'm going to tell you guys exactly what I use. First things first, we have prenatals. I want to talk to you guys about the prenatals I took throughout my pregnancy and then now after, and it's by the brand Ritual. So I packed these for a few reasons. I didn't know how long I was going to be staying, and I also am really glad I did because my doctor advised me to keep taking prenatals after I gave birth, because I am breastfeeding and pumping, and it was something that they recommended. So like I said, this is by Ritual. I actually was working with them before I gave birth, and they have been so just amazing with my quickly changing schedule when I went into labor. So I'm super excited to be working with them, and huge thank you to them for sponsoring this portion of the video. A few great things about them is they are vegan, gluten-free. There's no shady fillers or additives, so you feel really good about it. They also have a delayed release capsule design, which is crucial in pregnancy, because if you know, when you're pregnant, key symptom is nausea, and so like the last thing you want to take is a vitamin that makes you want to gag. So this has been great, and if you watched my labor and delivery vlog, you know that I was continuously ill. So the last thing I wanted to take after giving birth was something that was gonna make me feel sick. So it's great that these have this delayed release so you don't feel it, and then also citrus. It kind of has like a fresh citrus taste to it in my opinion, and I love that. They also have folate and B12, which is great for pregnancy, and key nutrients that help fill gaps in your diet. So these are great. They get delivered right to you. I'm gonna have a coupon code for you guys. If you use code TESS, you will get 10% off your first 3 months. So I will have a link below if you guys wanna go check out and are looking for a good prenatal, but they also have multivitamins if you are not pregnant. Next, I'm gonna talk about toiletries and things I actually used. So to start off, I did actually pack a makeup bag. No shame to people that like get glam and all of that. Like, girl, I had every intention to like get my makeup all situated and put together. I just didn't, because I just didn't feel like it. The only thing that I used out of my makeup bag, this is totally up to you and what you feel like bringing. I did get like miniatures of everything that I use for my makeup. So now I have a really great travel makeup kit that I'm just gonna use if we go away for a weekend or whatever. But the only thing when I was in the hospital that I used from this makeup bag was this. And this is the Laneige, I'd probably butchered that, Lip Glowy Balm in Berry. I talked about this in my labor and delivery vlog. It was just so crucial to have this because it was so dry in that hospital room. I had a fan going, and then also I wasn't allowed to drink water. I could only have ice chips. So my lips got really dry, and it's just another added discomfort that you don't want when you're in labor. So if I can prevent that, the lip balm is what I constantly was asking Patrick. I was like, can you pass me my lip balm? Can you pass me my lip balm? So this I would definitely recommend. It doesn't need to be this brand or anything, just some sort of lip balm or something that you really like. That was key for me. Once we got to the postpartum room, or like transferred to the recovery room, some things that I really was glad I had was dry shampoo, because my hair was so greasy and it was just sticking to me, and it was nice to just spritz that in. I could not take a shower right away, or I wasn't allowed to right away. So the dry shampoo was crucial. It wasn't about like looking a certain way or anything. It was just getting it kind of off of me, and it felt great. So that hairbrush that has probably covered in hair, it's great. Brush my hair. It was so matted and so snarled from just like laying on that bed the entire time that the first thing I'm pretty sure I did was brush through my hair, because I just wanted to. And I'm gonna keep things real simple for you for the rest of it. Toothbrush and toothpaste. Yes, this felt so good. It was just, oh my gosh. And then makeup remover wipes, just to kind of like, I don't know, clean my face. The last thing I wanted to do is get up and go to the sink and like do that. So it was nice to just have this and just like wipe my face after giving birth. Felt so good. And then moisturizer. So the one I have is the First Aid Beauty Ultra Repair Cream. Again, just super great to put on after I gave my face a good clean. This felt good. Lip balm, I was good to go. Next, we have the trusty portable fan. This thing was it. I cannot recommend having one of these enough. On Amazon, super affordable. This was key. Oh, I almost whacked myself in the face with it. This is key because they bend and you can hook it onto anything. The hospital bed, like right to me. Like I said, I'm gonna sound like a broken record, but if you watch my labor and delivery vlog, I just like stuck it right on the handles of the bed, and then every time I would switch positions, I would move it, or I'd have Patrick move it, and it was so key. On those same lines, like when I was laying in bed and laboring and doing all that, one thing that I didn't bring, because I thought there's no way I'm gonna use that, the hospital is gonna have stuff I can just ask for, was a pregnancy pillow. I've seen people talk about it in their hospital bag videos that they brought it and they loved it, and I don't know why I didn't listen. I just wanted one less thing to carry, but man oh man did I wish I had my pregnancy pillow. I had to lay in so many different positions and move around, and I had the pillows they gave me, but then they would kind of like roll up sheets and like wedge them into places, and it would have been nice to just have this huge pillow to like wrap myself around. One thing I did was I packed black everything. I just felt like that's the color I'm gonna wanna wear. I didn't mess around with anything else, so I just packed black clothing. First up, PJs. Now, if I'm gonna be honest, I didn't wear these until like the very end. I mainly stayed in a hospital gown because the nurses are constantly coming in and like checking on you, and you have to be accessible in all the ways that a hospital gown is. And so if I would have been in the hospital longer, I would have loved to have this, so that's why I'm still including this. In my reality of how long I was there, I probably would just leave this out next time. But like I said, if I was there for any longer, I would have wanted something to change into, like this, super cozy. I will link it. It's from Amazon, so super affordable. These pants were a staple for me throughout my pregnancy, and then in my hospital bag, I actually left the hospital in these. They're from H&M. They're a maternity pant, and they're just so comfortable. They're in a lightweight knit. And these were just like my go-to, like I said, all throughout pregnancy, and then in the hospital I loved having these. Last is a nursing bra. So I pretty much stayed in this one, like, I mean, I was only there for 24 hours, so I stayed in this one like as soon as I got into that recovery room. You're not really wearing anything normally, at least I wasn't, so I changed into this, and this is like pretty much what I stayed in until I got home, because I wasn't there for very long. But this is just a black nursing bra. It's from Amazon, super comfy. It's kind of like a sports bra style like material. Now, if I could tell you to put one thing in your hospital bag and one thing alone, it would be the Frida Mom hospital kit. It's pricey, I believe it's like $100, but man oh man is it worth it. Now, I think personally it's worth it if you are delivering vaginally, if you had a C-section, I don't think a lot of the things in that kit would be beneficial for you. But if you do deliver vaginally, having this kit was a lifesaver. The first thing you get in the kit are socks. These are little like grippy socks. They give you some in the hospital, but they're like a one-size-fits-all situation, which is crazy because feet vary so much. So the ones they gave me in the beginning were just constantly falling off my feet. I thought I wouldn't care about that, but I was so glad I had these. These were just great. They have kind of a compression to them, so they felt really good. And yeah, they're grippy, which is crucial in a hospital floor. The other thing that's in it is a hospital gown, but it's in a very soft material, which is great. This is kind of what it looks like. It has so many snaps. It snaps in the front, snaps in the back, and this was great because when I actually was delivering, I was in just like the classic hospital gowns that they give you, and then when I moved into the postpartum room, I put this on and it was great. So I wouldn't change right into my PJs because like I said, the nurses come in constantly to check on you and they need to have access. So having these like snaps in the back open and stuff like that was nice, but this is so soft. So it was just so much better than the hospital gowns that they give you. This next bit is going to kind of transition me into talking about postpartum. So the other items, so these two and then two not pictured, are the last things that come in that Frida hospital kit, and they are so crucial. So I delivered vaginally and I ended up having a 2nd-degree tear. So these products, when I tell you they make you just feel a lot better, they do, at least for me, and so I really, really hope that you find it that they help you as well. So the first thing, and I hear everybody talk about this little like spray bottle is so much better than the one the hospital gives you. It's really about the angle here. The hospital ones don't have that, and it's kind of very awkward to get down there. You don't really want to look at it. You just kind of want to get your business done and kind of, you know, help yourself as much as possible, and this does the job. So this comes in the kit and it's very, very worth it. Another thing is this healing foam, and then the cooling pads, and then another type of medicated, I want to call it a pad. I'll have them both right here so you guys can see, and those are so great. Along the same lines as that one little pad that you lay down are tucks, and I actually packed those as well, and this is actually my second container of these. This was so great. I really, really loved the tucks. They're medicated witch hazel pads, and you just lay them on top of your pad, and all of this combined is just going to put you in a good spot. It's just going to put you in a nice, more comfortable than you would without it spot. The one thing I didn't pack and I definitely didn't need were just regular pads. The hospital gives you so much and they constantly restock your room with them. So if you can avoid having to buy your own until you get home, just use up the hospital's. I did that, and then I took everything that they had in the hospital and I put it in this bag and I brought it home. So just like your regular pads, you don't need to go out and buy for your hospital bag. Have them for when you get home, but you don't need them for your hospital bag. I've watched that in videos and it's very, very true. The hospital will give you them. So you definitely don't need to bring your own. Almost forgot, they also give you disposable underwear, and the hospital gives you them, but they're very, very loose. And the Frida Mom ones that you get in the hospital kit are so much more snug and tight, and that's all I wore in the hospital until I got home. And then I switched to these high-waisted underwear that I got from Amazon. So I had them in my hospital bag, like I packed them, but I didn't use them in the hospital. I'm including these in the video because they were great for postpartum. So they're just like nothing special, just like your high-waisted underwear, but they are so snug and comfortable in places that you want it to be. You also have so much stuff you're layering down in there, like the pad, the foam, the tucks, like all of that you want to feel secure down there, and this does the job. It holds everything and it just feels so much better. So as soon as I left the hospital and I got home, I switched from the disposable underwear to these, and it was great. So again, I will have those linked as well. Everything I will have linked, but I will have those for sure linked for you because I highly recommend. we're getting to the end, I promise. Next is a belly band, and this I loved having right after I gave birth. It was so comfortable, and I kind of didn't believe people when they said you want something secure on your belly. I kind of thought you just want to like leave it alone and it would be really sore, but no. I don't know obviously about cesarean, but for me after my delivery, this was really nice to put on, wrap around my waist, and kind of make me feel like everything was tight, because it definitely, you go from having so much in your belly and just like feeling your baby, and then all of a sudden nothing's there, and so you're kind of like, whoa. It just feels a little jello-y is how I can describe it. So having this to kind of secure everything feels really good, and also I do really believe it helped with just swelling and my belly kind of shrinking back down. It's by no means to where it was before, but that's okay. This just helped. I really think it did, and I found a really just like easy, affordable one from Amazon, and I highly recommend. So I started wearing a belly band in the hospital, and then when I got home as well. You don't wear it all day, you just wear it for a little bit every day, and it felt really good, and I really liked it. So I'm glad I had this as well. And last, but let me tell you, definitely not least, nipple butter. This is so key. So my boobs took a beating more so after we got home, just with breastfeeding, and having nipple butter. I used it a little bit in the hospital, but boy did I go through this when I got home. So like I said, I wanted to keep it in the hospital, in this portion of the video, because I used it a little bit in the hospital, but it's an easy throw in, and if you find yourself there longer, you're definitely gonna want this. So that's it. That's all that I used in my hospital bag, and for when I have my second kid eventually down the road, I'm gonna look back on this video and be like, okay, let me double check, because this is truly what I used, nothing more, nothing less. So yeah, hopefully that was helpful. I do want to touch a little bit about postpartum, since I talked about those last few products that were really helpful for me, because postpartum is crazy. The fourth trimester, as they like to call it, is real, and I definitely wanted to share my experience. For me, postpartum was such an emotional roller coaster. I think that that's like what stood out to me, was just like the new emotions that I was feeling. The first week with Theo back in our apartment was probably the craziest for me emotionally. I cried every single day. I cried over everything, and I am the type of person that is pretty, like, I don't cry a lot. I don't get crazy emotional. That's just not me. And so when I was experiencing all of this new emotion, crying over, thinking about him growing up, I cried because Patrick made me dinner one night, and I was so thankful. I would cry because my boobs would be hurting from breastfeeding. I would cry, forget me FaceTiming my parents. Every time I saw my mom on FaceTime, I would just bawl my eyes out. And I had no reason to like why I was crying. I would just cry. I would cry looking at him. I would cry. It was just like flooding of emotion. It was the wildest experience. I don't even know if I'm properly describing it, because I can't really, it was so out of body for me that I had no idea that even existed. Like, I knew, you know, postpartum was a thing, but for me, no, like I had no idea that was coming, and that was such a shock for me, because I just didn't know how to handle all that emotion. I felt like I had no control over how I was feeling, and no control over like me crying or not. Like, I just would cry constantly. And I remember that was, you know, new for Patrick and I, because he is so comforting and supportive of me, and he has never seen me in that way before and react over certain things certain ways. And so that was a learning experience for him and us as a couple so quickly, that it was a whirlwind. Like, it was definitely an adjustment, not only just having a new baby, but me figuring out myself and what I was going through, and then also Patrick trying to figure out ways to help. And that first couple weeks were rough. They were the most amazing couple weeks, but they were also just emotionally draining, truly. And on top of that, I also went through postpartum anxiety of just thinking something was gonna go wrong with Theo. Like, I would have these thoughts of like, oh my God, what if somebody dropped him? Or what if I dropped him? What if I accidentally hit his head, like walking around the corner? I would just, everything kind of felt like it was like exploding and like caving in at the same time, if that's the best way I can describe it. It just felt like I had no control over anything. And it was really, really scary. Like, it was a very scary, very real feeling, and I had no idea that that was gonna happen to me. And so when I was in it, I was just very, very confused. So that was tough, and that was probably for about, like I said, a week, 2 weeks maybe, max. And then everything started to kind of get better from there. But I wanted to mention that. I wanted to say I was feeling those things because when I was going through it, I would look up on the internet and watch people's postpartum videos and read things, and it made me feel a lot better knowing that other people had that same experience or were going through that, or just knowing that those postpartum hormones and emotions are very real, and it's more common than you think. Because I kind of just thought like, oh, I'm gonna give birth and then I'm gonna have this baby and I'm gonna be so in love and everything's gonna be great, and I'm, you know, and then you come home and then you're experiencing all of these things and you're just like, what's going on? So it was definitely a whirlwind for me emotionally. And I was very cautious and very scared because I didn't know, you know, about postpartum depression and how that could affect me. And I didn't know if I was going through that or if I could be going through that. So having people talk and like just express their experiences was very, very helpful for me. And I don't think I got to the point of postpartum depression, but I definitely had a lot of feelings in the beginning and I didn't really know where they were coming from. And so I can see how postpartum depression and things like that are more common than you might think. So I definitely feel like it's something people should talk about a little bit more, and hearing other moms that I know would message me, whether that was my viewers or friends that I had that have gone through it, they would just ask, are you okay? Are you doing okay? It gets better, trust me. Made me feel so much better. So that was a huge eye-opening experience, and I had no idea that that was coming. But that is it for my video today. I really hope you guys found it helpful and interesting. Thank you so much for watching, and huge thank you to Ritual for sponsoring that part of the video. And yeah, I will see you all in my next video. Bye!